What's up, everybody? It's Jake back in the BarBend garage gym with my good friend Chelsea Bourgeois, because today we're going to be talking about the best protein powders for women on the market in 2024. Chelsea, first of all, great to have you back with me. I have two questions I want to ask you to get the ball rolling here. First one being, I think we all know that we need protein in our lives, but is that just for muscle building, or are there other layers to it? And then also, what should women specifically look for when it comes to protein powder?
Yeah, so protein plays a really important part, many important roles in the body. So yes, it's definitely important for muscle building, but it also plays a role in, bone health, skin health, hair, nails, you name it, protein is involved. And unfortunately, a lot of us fall short of our protein needs, especially women. So I, like to highlight, we try to go for at least that 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. And that's assuming a normal, healthy adult. But as you work out, your needs tend to increase. And we can go up to that 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, or even beyond that. And that's where protein powders really fill in the gap, kind of bridging the gap between what we need and what we're actually getting through our diet. Protein powders, there's so many on the market. For women, I like to recommend, look at that macronutrient profile, look at the ingredients list, and then check to make sure it's, third-party tested. To me, that's an added bonus because, we know that sports supplements aren't regulated by the FDA. So getting, that extra layer of assurance from the lab testing just for safety and purity reasons. And we can talk more about this, obviously, throughout the video, but looking at, like I said, the macronutrient breakdown, are we primarily focused on protein? Are we getting a hefty dose of carbs or fat? Trying to find exactly what works for you and what you need as a woman, trying to meet your protein needs.
So I guess it's kind of like an onion. There's a lot of layers to it, right?
Absolutely, yep.
Well, we are going to be doing a lot of talking here today, and I think we all know why everybody's here, and that's to find out which protein powder is our favorite option on the market. And for us, it's Transparent Labs 100% grass-fed whey isolate. So as the name suggests, this is 100% grass-fed. There's no artificial sweeteners, and it's soy and gluten-free. Now, before we both, should I say, really expand on why we ranked this protein powder as the number one for women, just want to make sure y'all know that we do in fact have a detailed article that pairs with this video. You should definitely go and check it out, because we don't have time to talk about every single option on that list. So all you have to do is search BarBend Best Protein Powders for Women, and it's going to pull right up for you. Now let's get to the rest of this video. So this whey isolate from Transparent Labs is about $2 per serving, 120 calories per serving. There's 28 grams of protein per serving as well. So Chelsea, first of all, for those who don't know, what exactly is a whey isolate?
Yeah, so whey protein is really the product that's left over after milk is used to make cheese, yogurts, things like that. And there are two main types of whey. We know whey concentrate, whey isolate, and really their main differences, they do have differences in their nutritional properties, but their main differences stem from their different production methods. So whey isolates undergo a little more processing, which means they are a more concentrated protein source. Not as much lactose, not as much not as many carbohydrates, grams of fat, things like that. So, it's really a good protein if you're looking for if your primary purpose is to increase your protein intake without really skewing your other macronutrients.
Okay, so what are your thoughts about the inclusion of the iron, potassium, and calcium here with this formulation?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of, getting as much bang for your buck. And, women's health, calcium, potassium, iron, all of those play a really important role in our overall health, calcium and iron especially. So, women, we're more at risk for bone loss, and that risk increases, after menopause. So calcium's really important. Meeting those needs is really important for maintaining bone health, strong, healthy bones, which I will preach forever. And then of course iron too. So, iron deficiency is it's pretty common, especially in women. We know just common biology, we're going to lose iron through our menstrual cycles. You lose iron through sweat. So, being able to supplement it with your protein powder is, in my book, really convenient. I think it's important to note There's, a very small amount in each serving of this protein powder. I think it's about 8% of your calcium daily value and 4% of your iron daily value. So it's, not a huge chunk, but to me, I feel like every little bit counts.
Yeah, so it's not like it's, acting as like a multivitamin or anything like that. So you definitely need to, especially you always want to go after, your actual diet and everything like that when it comes to supplementing with everything. Now, just want to ask you really quick, are there any other call outs you have with this formulation here with this specific protein, good or bad?
So I love that there's no artificial sweeteners in there. I don't hate on artificial sweeteners. I think they can be enjoyed in moderation, but sometimes they do cause some GI distress, and protein powders in general, sometimes, get a reputation of can be difficult to digest if, not the right formula for you. But there's no artificial sweeteners in here, and it's low in calories. So, I'm not a calorie counting dietitian, but it's an efficient way to boost your protein intake if you're being mindful of portion sizes and your calories throughout the day.
That's all very useful information. There it is, y'all. #1 pick on the market for women in 2024, Transparent Labs, grass-fed, 100% grass-fed, 100%, I like that, whey isolate. Now, when we talk about the best protein powder for muscle gain, for us, it's Jacked Factory's Authentic ISO. This is also a 100% grass-fed whey isolate. It's only gonna cost you at max $1.33 per serving. There's 8 different flavors to choose from, so that's, some of them are more expensive than others. You can get low as around 93 cents per serving, so it's really affordable. There's 25 grams of protein here per serving, and honestly, it's not like all protein powders are specifically made for men or women or whatever. I personally really like this one. This is the chocolate. I use it a lot. It tastes really good. Even with water, I love using milk with my protein powders, but that adds to the calorie count and everything like that. Speaking of calories, there's only 120 in here as well. And overall, just the taste is really good. But with those 8 different flavor options, you're definitely able to find one that suits you the best. Chelsea, what are your major call outs here with this protein?
Yeah, so, from a woman's standpoint, I love that there's 25 grams of protein per scoop. You're really maximizing that protein because, like you're saying, it's a lower calorie. So it's, low in carbs, low in fat. So it's a really efficient way to boost your protein intake for the day. It's not as high in calcium and iron as some of the other supplements, available. I think there's about 0.5 milligram of iron per scoop, and I think it's like 140 milligrams of calcium per scoop. So, you're getting 2% of your iron needs and about 10% of your calcium needs. And I do feel like I feel like it's important to note, science has kind of shown that calcium can inhibit iron absorption. So this may not be a major factor as far as boosting your iron intake, just because the calcium tends to outweigh the iron in this particular product.
I gotcha. Well, short and sweet, there it is. If you're looking for the best protein powder on the market to help you build muscle as you're lifting weights, Jacked Factory is the way to go. Now, a lot of people out there love organic products. So our favorite organic protein powder on the market for women is KOS with their organic superfood plant protein. All right, so you got 160 calories per serving. This is 2 scoops, by the way. So a little bit higher on the calorie count compared to the other 2 we just talked about, but this is also a vegan protein. So no whey. If you're somebody who is, sensitive to whey products, that's probably something that you're gonna be looking for. So with this, you have a blend, right? So pea protein, flaxseed, quinoa, pumpkin seed, chia seed. There's a lot going on here. And there's a handful of flavors for you to choose from as well. Chelsea, how do you feel about this product overall?
Yeah, KOS has kind of flown under my radar for a little bit, and I am a huge fan of this product. I think the protein blend is really impressive. And I like to kind of share a fun fact. Ingredients are listed by weight in the ingredients list. So with pea protein being that first ingredient, that's where your money, the bulk of your money is going when you spend, on this product. So I love that you get a variety of protein sources from Whole Foods. And then I kind of like that it's a 2 scoop serving size. It gives you some flexibility if you wanted to cut your serving size in half, split up your protein shakes throughout the day. It gives you a little more, flexibility so that you can tailor it to, your specific needs.
Yeah. Another cool thing I like about this protein is that there's no artificial sweeteners, so you're using monk fruit and coconut sugar and things of that nature. So there it is, y'all. If you're looking for the best organic protein powder on the market, it's the KOS right here. All right, so up next is our favorite option for pregnancy, okay? And this is from Ritual. So this is their essential proteins, the daily shake for pregnancy and postpartum. So this is a plant-based protein right here. It's made from it's a pea protein. Now, it is a little bit more on the expensive side. It's about $2.67 per serving. Only comes in vanilla, so if you don't like vanilla, it's probably isn't gonna be the best option for you. There's 20 grams of protein per serving here, and another thing is that it's soy-free, and it's gluten-free, and it's a non-GMO product, which is probably something that a lot of people are looking for in general. Another thing here I wanna ask you about though, Chelsea, is the amount of choline per serving. Can you just kind of expand on that for me, please?
Yeah, so there's, more than half of your daily needs of choline in one serving of this Ritual shake, which I think is really impressive, especially for expecting mothers and postpartum moms. I think choline plays a really important role in our bodies. Our bodies can make some choline, but we can't meet our needs. So we have to bridge the gap with our dietary intake. And unfortunately, a lot of prenatal vitamins don't come with choline. So choline, obviously is really important for baby's brain development. It's also been found to help prevent some birth defects. So it's really, really essential to baby during pregnancy. And then they find that you actually have increased choline needs during postpartum, especially if you decide to nurse or breastfeed. So, trying to meet those needs can be tricky. You can get them from dietary sources, but nothing as convenient as mixing up a shake. And I will say from experience, breastfeeding moms in general, it's hard sometimes to prioritize yourself. So being able to do that with a really convenient shake is handy.
Well, there's a lot of, this is a very good product in general. Something else I really like is that all the ingredients are traceable to their direct source. It's on their website. You can go and click on all the links for each individual ingredient. I think that's a really good thing. Makes their product in general just very transparent. But I just want to ask you if there's anything else here with this protein powder that specifically, sticks out to you.
So, we're obviously talking about the best protein powders for women. And I think it's worth noting that that Ritual was started by a woman. She was pregnant at the time and she didn't feel comfortable with the product she had at her disposal. So she created her own. So she really started this company from the customer standpoint. So I think it's, pretty cool for women to be able to find a product that's created and designed by a woman that's gone through exactly what they're going through too.
A whole lot of information right there to unpack. Chelsea, thank you for that breakdown right there. So there it is, y'all. The best protein powder on the market for pregnancy is from Ritual. All right, well, that's a wrap on today's video over the best protein powders on the market for women in 2024. Chelsea, thank you so very much for joining me today. There's a lot of information here that I probably wouldn't be able to, push across to people the same way that you could. So just really, I can't thank you enough.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm really glad to be here.
Well, as always, y'all, stay posted for the next video. But for now, head over to BarBend.com because as I mentioned earlier, there's other products on our list that we didn't talk about today. I definitely recommend you go and check that article out. All you gotta do is search BarBend Best Protein Powders for Women, and it's gonna pull right up. We'll see y'all next time.